I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast here for your Monday. Hopefully everybody had a lovely weekend. I know, Virginia, you were at a lot of the lodges all weekend long.
I was a lodge slut.
Yes.
First, I went to the Elks. Then I went to the Moose.
Dang, okay.
I love a big brown mammal.
I was going to say, yeah, she's getting to all of them. It's very impressive.
That's why there's a lot of Beaver fans out there.
That's it.
I guess I'll go to anything. Anybody who invites me, I'm like, all right.
I'm here.
Where's the meat?
You definitely do not live a boring life.
Always got something going on. Jaybird, you were working on the KVJ horror movie a good bit over the weekend.
Yes, it's pretty much all I've been doing. We'll be working right to the end.
How's it looking?
We're getting there. We have had some snags, like anything in life. There's obstacles, but sometimes the obstacle becomes the way, and maybe that way's the right way.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see doing a little behind the scenes, kind of the making of the movie, telling some of the stories so people can see the challenges that it takes to put this thing together.
This has been the hardest KVJ horror movie to date. This one's been tough.
Some say it may break a man.
Oh, I was broken after Grimsley.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to hear that story. We had talked about the timetable on the KVJ horror movie. In fact, the question here from Parrish was, is it for 21 and over?
So for content, it's 18 and over because that's all you need to have for a scary movie. You can be 18 years old and buy an R-rated ticket. I don't know what the rules are when it comes to drinking. So I don't know.
Well, the kids can't drink. I know that.
That I know. But I wasn't sure I'm not sure what the malts rules are.
I mean, if adults want to bring, I would say don't bring anybody under the age of like 15 or 16.
It does get a little weird. I mean,
don't bring little kids.
It's an R-rated movie. It is.
I mean, Rocco's in it, and we're probably not going to bring Rocco.
I do need 2 little kids, though, for a scene. I know that there's some parents that really want to get their kids in the movie. I need 2 little boys to play a quick scene, but it's going to be weird. One's going to have to dress like a clown. Other one's going to have to dress in a weird mask. But look, it's your kids, and you make the choice as the parent. I got a bunch of kids in this movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The tickets are going to be going on sale, projected right now for the premiere, which is happening Saturday, October 11th at the Maltz Theater in Jupiter. They're going to be going on sale on the 26th, so 11 days from now. You'll be able to get them at kvjshow.com, and they'll be $20 a ticket.
And it really does make the whole event more fun if you dress up. I know that's not everyone's bag, but this is the kind of event. We want signs. We want people dressing up. Let's get weird with this event.
Well, one of the favorite things about last year's movie premiere was everybody came in costume, and it was like a Halloween/movie premiere party. Mm-hmm. You know how you go to a Halloween party in costume? Everybody got into that theme and made it so fun. People dressed up as stuff from the show. People dressed up as stuff from past KVJ movies.
It's cool, too, because a lot of the people in the movie are KVJ Nationers. So
yes.
that makes it special to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that maybe you might want to check out, have any of you watched the documentary on Charlie Sheen yet?
I haven't had a chance.
I'm not one of these people that's feeling Charlie Sheen, y'all. I know he's doing the Resurgence tour and doing, I don't know. I'm not buying it. Am I off on this?
I think he's just a guy who did bad things. And I think some of that stands out. And not everybody's like, Woohoo, Charlie Sheen's back.
Well, it's not even that. It's almost kind of like he gives one interview where he's somewhat normal. Like, oh my God, Charlie is back. What a sweetheart. Oh my God, he did not shoot Kelly Preston. It's weird. He's getting a lot of support, which I guess is good. But I'm not buying what the Warlock's saying at times.
Yeah, I think the thing about Charlie Sheen, he is somewhat charming, and yeah, I think people are amused by
He's
his
funny.
Yeah, he is.
He's got
excess.
antics.
Yes. But, the question is, how many people did he hurt along the way, or was he mainly just hurting himself? Now, one of the emails that we got here said, I just watched the Charlie Sheen documentary on Netflix. Let me tell you, it was great. Not a puff piece, an actual documentary that goes over all kinds of shit. Highly recommend. Keep up the great work, and Bigfoot is definitely real.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. And I could be wrong. I just saw a few clips, so it's not fair to judge. I just know the motherfucker was the Warlock for a long time. And he's got some secrets and some stories.
Yeah, how many of those bad stories are we going to see in the documentary?
I do think he is honest, though, about him banging 8 balls of rock or whatever that quote was. He's like, bang 8 balls of coke, bro. Like when he was doing all that Warlock stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, I got an email from Mark. He said, I needed a break from rom-com movies and watching season 2 of Wednesday, which is excellent. But I saw the Charlie Sheen documentary. I know it's been mentioned on the show. Excellent. I felt Charlie was being truthful during its filming. Charlie kind of throws Nicolas Cage under the bus for part of his partying phase. I found that fascinating and believed him. Yeah, I think Nicolas Cage kind of gets a little turnt as well. I just remember that video from a couple years ago. He and Vince Neil were on the strip. Remember that? And they were both really hammered.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage, they are so afternoon drunk and sweaty. And all you hear is Nicolas Cage go, get my range. Get my range. Get his Ranger over. And he's trying to hold Vince Neil back. It was Vince Neil, I thought.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Because I think someone who was talking to Nicolas Cage and Vince Neil lost his mind on this woman and started, look into the story.
Yeah, an interesting duo, to say the least. He said, Heidi Fleiss did not age well. I guess she's a bird woman now, has pet birds.
Well, dude, how old is she? She's got to be in her fucking 60s,
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, Heidi called Charlie a pussy bitch, crybaby, rich kid. The different people that were interviewed in the documentary were great. Sean Penn was interesting. I think Sean is California sober. I really like the older brother, Ramos, no daddy or Emilio. His drug dealer actually showed his face. He didn't hide. I think he's just looking for his 15 minutes of fame. Denise Richards, still can't figure her out. I started watching the documentary to see what dudes Charlie had sex with. Full disclosure, I am a gay male. He doesn't name any guys, calls them the other side of the menu. I ended up staying for the stories. Now I don't have to read the book. Mark sent that in.
Does he talk about the Corey Haim stuff at all? Because that's the stuff I'm curious about.
Yeah, he doesn't. Here's kind of a little bit of that. That has to go back to the stuff with the movie Lucas. And this is like Corey Feldman from many years ago kind of talking about it and other people mentioning what had happened on that set. It's kind of crazy.
Keep in mind, Feldman wasn't in Lucas. Haim was in Lucas, not Feldman.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's Feldman, I guess, with his relationship that's talking about it.
Great detail. He told me, Charlie bent me over in between 2 trailers and put Crisco oil on my butt and raped me. In broad daylight, anybody could have walked by, anybody could have seen it.
On the set of Lucas, he told me that, it was his co-star. And he told me that it was Charlie Sheen that did it.
The movie he had worked on. And then I said, well, who is it? And then he says, Charlie. Charlie, and it's Charlie Sheen.
So I heard that Charlie Sheen had said to Haim, this is what men do.
Shit, I've personally heard a story about Charlie and Corey Haim. Probably at least a dozen people probably in my inner circle knew for sure. It was pretty much common knowledge. I mean, Charlie Sheen was diddling him on the set of Lucas.
But what Corey Haim told me when I was sitting with Feldman in the office of the house in Vancouver, that he had been molested on the set of Lucas.
So there's a lot of people that at least heard that. So Corey Haim had told many, many people about that incident. And
he ended up committing suicide, right? No? How did he die?
He died of some kind of, there was a lot of misreporting about how he died. He was sick and stopped breathing. And I do not think there were drug factors on that. I think people assumed that, including Corey Feldman. Now, the mom does not like, Corey Haim's mom does not like Corey Feldman. She thinks he's a liar. She thinks he is absolutely taken Corey Feldman's or Corey Haim's name and as really throwing it through the mud after he passed away. Corey Haim can't defend himself. And he wrote a book. The first chapter of the book, if one of my best friends did that kind of intro after I died, I would haunt that motherfucker and go, what the shit were you thinking? Because he kind of bags on Corey Haim.
Right after he died?
It rubbed me the wrong way. I haven't liked Feldman for quite a long time. I think he's been caught lying several times. And I think the mom really hates him. And she's like, keep my son's name out of your mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, now I've not ever heard anyone ask Charlie Sheen about these allegations and what his answer might be, but that would be very fascinating. I mean, he was on, with Bill Maher over the weekend and, talked about absolutely everything, but I've not heard anyone point blank ask Charlie Sheen about these rumors and if they were true or not. And I think it'd be easy for him to say, no, that's not true. That never happened. And then, what are we going to do at that point? You've got the word of somebody that's passed, and he told a lot of people. So a lot of people were saying that they had heard it, but it's all coming from one source, and that's Corey Haim.
And believe when I say this, I'm not bragging. I have done the work and the research on Corey Feldman. I have been just, since you guys have known me, I've always talked about Feldman.
Sure.
I was fascinated by him, always dancing like Michael Jackson. He said bullshit about Michael Jackson on a public forum where it made it sound like Michael Jackson was a creepster. Then he took it back. It's like, come on, dude.
Mm-hmm. Lovey said they do ask him on the documentary, and he says it's not true, which I imagine that it probably would come out. So he did address it. They put it in that documentary. So he's saying there's no truth to it. And I don't know if there's any way that you would know. You can have your own beliefs as to whether it's true or not, but you don't have any real proof, I don't think.
Corey Feldman. So I was going to put Corey Feldman in the movie with the cameo. I wrote something up for him to say, and the motherfucker rejected it.
He did?
I found out Saturday night that he's not taking the money.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. He's not very good to his fans.
What did you ask him to say?
I deliberately made it to where it wasn't mean or disparaging because he's kind of privy to people fucking with him now on the internet because a lot of people do. It was more of just him talking about the character in the movie and something rubbed him the wrong way and rejected the cameo. Got the money back, which is good.
Okay.
Canadian Bacon said that Charlie Sheen said that it was not true in the documentary. He said, fuck off to Corey Feldman.
Yeah, his mom and sister said the Charlie Sheen thing did not happen. The mom and the sister of Corey Haim. She does not like Feldman.
All right.
Feldman's a prick, man. I'm telling you.
So the thing that Bill Maher had asked him about was looking at the other side of the menu, and he was like, okay, bottom or top? And Charlie Sheen kind of seemed to say that there wasn't any kind of penetration either way on that, so it sounds like it was just oral sex that had happened when he dabbled with that. So I think
with
that's
Haim?
what you get. No, just with men.
Got ya.
Yeah, just with men. Because that's what he had said in the documentary, was that he looked at the other side of the menu. But he doesn't name any names, and you don't know who it might have been with.
You got to watch. You said Bill Maher?
Yeah.
You got to watch that Club Random, Virginia, because you really do see a man get drunk and high so quickly, and it progressively gets fucking more insane as Bill Maher will ask you a question, cut you off, and then tell you what your opinion is. It's fucking...
Wow. That is busy.
It's very busy.
Yeah, Canadian Bacon said Charlie Sheen said that he should have sued Feldman for making that comment. So
it's not too late.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on that, but you would think that maybe you could still do that.
All comes down to proof and evidence.
Yep. So we'll see. But I'm hearing good things. I think it's 3 hours. If you got 3 hours, that's what it takes to get through the Charlie Sheen documentary.
I don't know if I can do 3 hours with the Warlock Dog.
It's a lot. I'm going to have to break it up.
Yeah, you might have to break it up.
Yeah.
And I love Charlie Sheen as an actor. He is awesome in the movie Major League, but as we've all, just because you're good at something doesn't mean you ain't fucked up either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had been talking about porn and how to get it in Florida. And Joshua and a couple other emails talked about getting a VPN. I've been using private internet access for 5 years now. Not only for porn, but internet privacy as well. It's only like $6 a month. So you can get around the BS and not be able to get porn in Florida.
We knew the chat room would help us.
They absolutely would help us. They love their porn.
We go to the experts.
Everyone in the chat room is just tossing off left and right.
Porn.
Mm-hmm. And Brianna has a thought on the coach that had grabbed the player. Jay-Bird was talking about how he's got some friends and their son had a coach grab him, leaving marks on his arm.
Well, he dug his nails into his arm and left a massive bruise on his arm.
That's
and then
weird.
People were calling the kid the snowflake. I'm like, dude, you're an adult grabbing an 18-year-old's arm. Fuck that, coach.
Yeah, well, Brianna said, listen to you guys talking about it. I think even if the parents decide to listen to their son and not intervene, they should, at the very least, have their son document the incident with pictures, write down dates, times, witnesses, in case anything further happens in the future. This coach may not be done yet. And just think of the story of Alex Earl that she had with the harassment of her coach. These kind of things do happen. And the more you have things together and cooperating witnesses.
Cooper.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I think it was Alex Earl. Yeah.
Alex Cooper's Call Her Daddy.
Right.
Look, man, I played for a lot of baseball teams, and I always want to make sure this is clear. My coach, Joe Russo, my high school coach, I loved him. He was a great mentor for me personally. He's never a person I'm talking about when I talk about having some weird, bad coaches. And there are some fucking weirdos out there, man. I've told you guys stuff behind the scenes.
You have.
That I don't really want to go public with, but some weird shit's going on out there.
Yeah, there are still some coaches in very prominent roles that have very questionable things in their past with what they've done with players.
I was just talking with a player that was giving me his experience of a certain coach that we once knew, and it's weird, man.
It's just weird because then guys like that will stay coaching, and then they get rid of guys like Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
It's so backwards.
It is. There's a lot of messed up things. And I saw they had kind of an update on that. Teddy Bridgewater was officially suspended from coaching for the entire year. Now he's already playing the role of a backup quarterback in Tampa Bay. So I think he kind of knew that things were not going to work out in his favor. And one of the other assistant coaches that they had at Miami Northwestern has taken over for the rest of the season. But I assume he'll be free to come back next year if he decides to do that and doesn't want to go back to the NFL as a backup, which would be great to see because he just seemed to be so good with those kids. But they do really need to change some of the rules that they have. They're just uptight on the wrong things. You guys are punishing the wrong things, and they don't understand, man. These kids and what they go through. And I work with a fantastic group called Student Aces here in South Florida. And so I get a lot of the stories. And what they try to do is they try to help these kids out. And some of these neighborhoods and the way they're growing up, especially if you go out to the Muck, Belle Glade, and Pahokee, that's where they have their offices. And they really try to get these kids and mentor them because I'm telling you, it is a war between either they're going to be in a gang or they're going to play football. And that's what Teddy Bridgewater said. And a lot of times the gang members, they will shoot at the football players as they're trying to go to practice.
Oh my
because
gosh.
They're like, all right, well, if you're not going to choose us, you're going to choose death. And that's legit. I had heard that. Not just Teddy Bridgewater talked about that. The Student Aces people told me stories about, it's just terrible how it is, because they are like, no. Because, again, too, how often do you not want to see somebody better themselves?
Right.
Yeah, that to me, I personally think finding a mentor in one's life is really not an easy thing.
Right.
There are people, I think, that can help you and guide you along the way. But then there really is a special type of person that you really go to for advice. You trust them. They've got your best interest at heart. And I think that's something that really should be the sign of a good coach, especially for the youth. Mm-hmm. A mentor for kids growing up, that's hard to find for a lot of kids. And if you are a good mentor, you can really change how a kid goes about their life.
You can't have a better mentor than Teddy. Yeah. Like, think about Teddy's story. You know, he made it in the NFL. He's like, look, this is what football can lead to.
When he came through there, that's his alma mater. So, I mean, nobody knows it better. He's like, I am the example of getting through this and getting through what we have to live through in this environment to make it in the NFL, get generational wealth. And then he was just spreading the love to his players and really trying to get them in a better place so they have a future. And it's just silly. And look, I understand there are concerns about when it comes to competition in South Florida high school football, but I got to tell you, already, you've got super teams. You can't stop it.
You can't.
They play national teams, and they're at that level. They're at a different level. Let them be that, because when they play on those super teams, they get noticed by your massive schools, the Alabamas and Ohio States and all that, and then there's just a different level. Look, my son goes to a high school where I'm just happy he's in there playing. I like the discipline that you get from it. He ain't going to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State, So I'm cool with that. But, those teams out there, let them play each other, let them recruit, let them do whatever. Because, look, they can make money even in high school now. And it really can change their outlook in life and where they wind up. So, I think it's so misguided what they've done to Teddy Bridgewater, and I hope he does come back. I hope he is a high school coach for a very long time. But more importantly, I hope that they change the rules and start recognizing when it's not a competitive advantage. This is a guy that's just trying to help these kids out. If you really got into it, you would see what these kids go through to try to get there and play football.
And when you have a good coach, because players will go through a fucking wall for a good coach. You really would. If you really feel like your coach has got your best interests at heart, and it's not just coach, it's anything in life that where someone's above you or mentoring you. If you want to go through a wall for that person, and a good coach, I think, will do things that make you want to go through that wall.
When they did that video where Teddy was FaceTiming his team before one of their big games, and they were you could tell how much they loved them and how much he poured back into them and how much he cared about them. And that's a big deal, man.
It's genuine.
Yeah,
it's special.
Yeah, sometimes these kids don't have a mentor at home. They don't have anybody that's really kind of showing them the path. So a lot of times, high school coaches, all these kids have, man, somebody that's kind of teaching them a good moral code and discipline and everything they need, and try to get them out there into the world, either to college or someplace where they've got a future after high school, and the gang thing's not a deal.
Teddy's just saying to them, I want you to be like me.
Yeah.
And they shut that down.
I'm not saying a coach can't get angry or mad, but I will say if you use that card too many times, it starts to lose effect on the players.
It does.
It just does.
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, as a coach, you have to be in it first and foremost. You have to care about their future before yours. And too often, coaches are too worried about, am I winning games? What are you doing to me? You can't be an effective coach today and be that way. The kids have to know that you're invested in them and you want the best for them. That's how you'll get the most out of them. And so by residual effect, you'll look good as a coach. But until you put your players first, it's not going to work. That old school mentality of this is all about me and my career, I'm sorry, man. They'll see through that, and they won't want to play for you that
Then
way.
you just got weird coaches that just don't even know what's going on. I had a tumbling coach back in the day when I was younger, and she wore, we're next level coochie cutters where her pubic hair was sticking out while we would do stretches. And I'm like 7, and her hair is sticking out, and obviously I'm drawn to it.
How do you get into tumbling?
Dude, Lake Park was so
Can you imagine what his leotard looked like?
I'm sure my balls were hanging out too.
A lot of balls.
I shouldn't be throwing any stones.
She probably tells a story about, oh my gosh, this kid one time.
This kid was 9. I can't believe how much pubic hair he had.
And got some other follow-up comments about school lunches and how long they get. It was called out today that they only get 30 minutes. And we have Mary Beth that was complaining about that. An interesting spirited debate back and forth on how they're doing school lunches and whether or not that is an adequate amount of time. Denise said, for school lunch, my granddaughter's high school has one lunch for the whole school, and they've got 40 minutes, which is crazy. So, yeah, that's kind of part of it. Do they have enough time and to get these kids through? So there are some issues with that.
Everyone changed my mind. I'm now fighting for 3-hour lunches for children.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. I can understand the scheduling challenges that they have trying to deal with it. Peggy had said Olive Garden breadsticks were good when they made them in the restaurant. Now they just bake them. They are shipped in made, and they have no flavor anymore. That's interesting.
I have heard that.
Cheaper ingredients, probably.
And it's already pre-made. All you have to do is throw it in the oven, and boom, you got
more affordable.
I think that is why they sometimes do have that weak-ass... Because sometimes you eat when you go, oh, my God, my eyes are rolling back. I'm having a breadstick orgasm. And then there's other times you're going, no, I'm not coming pretty good here.
If you're coming at Olive Garden, it's gone wrong.
Figure of speech. Come on. Don't make me the weird one here.
You said it.
I haven't slept in 3 days. I should not be on a public airwave.
Now you tell us. At the end of the podcast.
You should just assume Mondays. I get Sunday scaries bad. Y'all don't get them?
I mean, a little bit. I think it's natural because you just love the weekend so much.
And you're tired, and you know if you go to sleep, it's here.
Yeah.
Not that I love our gig, but, you know, it's just pressure is all.
Yes.
And got an email from Ashley in Alabama. She said, I'm sitting here watching college football. Of course, that's what you do in Alabama. It's halftime, and all the songs that the band is playing are songs I recognize, but I can't quite put my finger on. I remember when you would do that bit where you would play a band song and people had to guess what the actual song was. Maybe you could bring that back a little bit. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That was a lot of fun.
I love when we do Am I Close? That's one of my favorite bits. Mm-hmm. It just reminds me of bullshitting in high school.
Yeah. It's a fun little thing. We got that back. So, yeah, I'll look into that since it is football season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of great over the weekend. My alma mater, Ohio University, played at Ohio State. And they both have really good bands. They called ours the Marching 110. And they kind of do, have you ever seen those HBCUs where they kind of break down and dance?
Yes.
So Ohio University kind of is stolen that from the HBCUs where they kind of break it down. But the thing that they do that was so cool, you ever seen the big bass drum players? They have that on their chest.
Yeah.
So they take that, they put it on the ground, then they flip over and they're on their head. And then they all start playing kind of like on their head. That's one thing the Marching 110 does.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's a cool little thing where they have the drum corps. And they're all dancing, and all the rest of the band puts their instruments down. They do a choreographed dance as the bass player's up on his head.
Was there a reason why you didn't become a Buckeye? Was it location?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I was told, it was an odd thing. I applied to only Ohio State and Ohio University, and I got a letter from Ohio University saying I could go. Ohio State, I got nothing. I'm like, I guess I didn't get in. My dad was president of the Alumni Association. He's a Ohio State alumni, and they'd asked him. They said we didn't see him on the roll for admissions for the freshman class. And he's like, he never got a letter. And they're like, oh, no, he made it in. And he's like, well, it'd been nice of you to send him a letter. So I don't know. That's the whole, it got lost in the mail. Probably BS because my dad was the president, but who knows?
Would you have liked to have gone?
Yeah. I mean, I think it worked out great because I thought I was going to do pre-law, and I thought Ohio State would have been better for that. But I quickly switched to telecommunications, which was radio and TV, and Ohio University had a really good school for TCOM. And so oddly enough, to me, that's just the way sometimes life works out.
One little letter didn't make it to you.
Yeah, my life's full of those little things where it just is one little, and it, I don't know that I would be sitting here right now if I would have received that letter. I might have gone down a different path.
You'd probably be boring lawyer, Kev.
Yeah, right.
It is odd how some things in life, they may not seem significant at the time.
Yeah.
But that really, you could argue, changed the course of your life.
Big time. I've got, like I said, there are so many of those little turning point weird things that would have put you on an entirely different path and your life would have been radically different.
Since I was a kid, I always go, oh man, I just missed that bus or I just missed that car ride. Did that change my life in a way? You never know. You never know.
It would be great if life was fully revealed, because I just have so many questions, or what it would be like to just see. And I'm sure there are people whose lives have kind of been derailed, and they're just like, man, what? It probably in the negative way. It was just one thing that put them on a weird path.
It would be interesting to see what lawyer Kev's path would have been.
Or even just what you're walking out of your house and you drop your keys, you bend down for a good 5 seconds grabbing your keys. Did that 5 seconds alter whatever was going to happen if you didn't drop your keys?
Yeah, it could.
What if a car hit you 5 seconds earlier?
That would be the interesting reveal, as you've had all these different paths and how it could have gone. If it was ever revealed to you, be going, okay, there was option A or B, and B was chosen, and here's where you know where you went. But if you had chosen option A, this is where you would have gone. And I'm sure someone would be like, oh, thank God I didn't have that happen to me. Or, man, oh, man, I could have been, whatever.
Well, I mean, I just remember when I first started drinking, and you're always just trying to make your friends laugh. And we were with a big group of people off of Okeechobee. We were at Flirts. And I thought it would be funny if I started to hitchhike on the side of Okeechobee and a car pulled over. And I remember the car pulling over, and the guy he looked like he had evil eyes. And I thought my friends would think it's so funny if they saw me getting in this car. And as I'm like opening up the door, my buddy grabs my shoulder and says, "What the fuck you doing?" And imagine if I would have gotten that car.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Guy probably wanted to eat you for dinner.
Or just eat me. Who knows? I don't know.
It was Charlie Sheen.
Evil eye.
Imagine that. Imagine where that would have gone.
Where would that have gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm laughing, then all of a sudden I realize I'm in a fucking murderer's car.
Hitchhiking is horrifying.
It is.
The thought of doing it and the thought of picking somebody up that's hitchhiking.
I'm not sure who's creepier, the person that you pick up or the person that picks you up. I
saw the scariest guy walking and hitchhiking, and I was like, oh my gosh, never pick up a hitchhiker. And I was explaining to Rocco what that guy was doing and how we never, ever would pick up anybody that was hitchhiking, nor would we hitchhike, just to give him a little life lesson. And then we had to make a couple stops, and the hitchhiking guy walked into the liquor store while we were in there, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and he remembered us from not picking him up. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
The good news, you made it.
We survived.
And you got your steps in.
He survived, too. But he was all wet because I guess it rained on him, and he just looked mad.
I told you about the one guy that stopped me in Honeyface in the Publix parking lot, and he was real nice at first, showing me his music on YouTube and asking me to subscribe. And when I go, yeah, I'll subscribe to your channel, man. I'll support you. He's like, yeah, man, I need like $45. I go, I ain't got His face turned so evil. And then me and Honeyface are walking into Publix to go grab a soda at the fountain, and we're talking about how weird it was. And as we're walking, there's no windows until you get to the fountain. And as we got to the fountain, he was already there looking in the window right at us, looking pissed off as fuck. We're like, let's get that shit out of here.
Who panhandles for $45?
It was a very weird. You know when you have that weird feeling in your gut going, I don't know, something's not cool about this.
See, this is why you can't talk to people in the parking lot.
But as we're talking, we're going, that was pretty fucking Oh my God, there he is. He's looking at us.
It's right there. Ryan in Lake Worth Beach, he said, I heard Kev talking about how you can move to Iran if you got a problem with America. He said, I follow some of my gamer friends in Afghanistan, Iran, and Russia, and some of them live much more comfortably than you can imagine. They have new iPhones, drive any car they can afford, and shop at luxury malls. In fact, most people in China have no problem bypassing their government's firewall. Where these people who have a problem with freedom need to go is North Korea. They will love it there. You should see how clean their streets are. I attached a photo of one of their crosswalks, and let me tell you this, it would never take them 2 sorry-ass attempts to paint over a crosswalk. Their crosswalks are in immaculate condition all the time. They even have dedicated military units just for sweeping trash off the streets. And you should see the adorable little girl named Kim Ju-ai, who will replace her father. Yeah, I've seen her.
Saw that.
She's 14. She follows him around. Yeah, he just had a big thing where he met with basically all the guys over there, China and Russia and now India. And so, yeah, she was along with him, tagging along for the ride. They took the train over.
I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy.
Yes. But he said, here's why we should be terrified. We can't even shoot down a sketchy orb drone with a Hellfire missile. And they recently oversaw the rocket booster test for their new solid-fueled ICBM, which would become designed for the purpose of nuking multiple targets on the east coast of the USA at once, presumably New York, D.C., and South Florida. Who knows? But yeah, that's why you got to be vigilant. And North Korea, this story came out too. They are now executing their citizens for watching foreign films and TV shows.
Whoa.
This is according to United Nations Human Rights Office. The report documents increased government control over all aspects of citizens' lives and widespread forced labor. No other population is under such restrictions in today's world, the report says. And yeah, the crazy thing about that is I had read that they'll send family members of those accused to prison camps for 10 generations, meaning you can be born and raised in a prison camp simply because your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents were falsely accused of viewing a copy of K-pop Demon Hunters 200 years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
That's all fucked up.
Yeah. So one day they're asking for identity verification, the next mass public executions. I know it seems like a far stretch, but ask any Holocaust survivor. They will tell you it's exactly how it happened. So, yeah, so there are some places in the world that are completely messed up.
Scary.
Yeah, that's why I am thankful that I am not in North Korea. It's good to be here. Oh, my gosh. I can't even imagine how quickly I'd be tossed into a prison camp.
And I don't, again, you don't know what's real. There's a video I saw, and it looked like it was either a soldier or somebody trying to defect out of North Korea. And it looks like people are following him, shooting, and he somehow gets over the border to where he had safety. But is that even real? I don't know.
You've been duped a lot today.
Was their name Jenny Talia?
Exactly. I don't know what's real anymore, dog.
His name was Kiko Man.
I mean, again, I'm the guy that thought Diddy made The Rock eat monkey brains. So.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really crazy at just how things are out there. And I've mentioned this on the regular show. Just my wife, she cannot spot what's real and fake. I will show her something that's absolutely legit. And she's like, that's AI. I'm like, that's definitely not AI.
I sent you that one program, that AI, where that the backgrounds look as if you are in Rome, if you want to be in Rome, or you're out in the middle of the ocean, and it legit looks like you're out in the middle of the ocean or in Rome.
Right.
It's getting so good.
Well, it's very easy, and I think it's going to be to the point where you can just type in a prompt and it will create that video. I mean, there's all kinds of. Have you ever seen the series of the Bigfoot videos they do in South Florida?
Yes.
Maybe in Boca, or it'll be on Miami Beach or whatever, and I mean, it looks like Miami Beach, and it looks like Bigfoot's walking around talking.
People have sent those to us in our DMs about 800 times.
The ones that are the tough ones are the UFOs, because you really can doctor those up and make them look like, holy shit, we're being invaded.
And then how will you ever know when the real invasion happens?
I feel like the blurred line is more dangerous than the flat out lie.
Well, I think that's why it's more important than ever to have a credible news source that you actually trust, that they're vetting and they're doing everything possible to try to make sure that it's something that's legitimate. Because otherwise, everything is fake. You don't know.
Also, too, I'm sick of sounding like such a dumb fuck on the air. When trying to tell you, Kev, the most dangerous woman on the planet. People thought I was trolling them. No, I got duped. I didn't even put it together.
Genitalia.
I didn't even read. Like, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, that was the first thing when he sent the video.
That's the first thing I heard. I was like,
I saw genitalia. I'm like, I'm not sure this is real.
I already saw comments before the segment started going, genitalia, Bird, you're a dumb fuck. I'm like, shit. I gotta sit through this segment now.
Yeah. We're already in it.
It was just a segment to show how stupid I was.
Well, to show honestly how people are getting duped. But don't feel bad. My wife is, like I said, and Yasik said, yeah, I mean, Kevin, you've admitted she can't see, and she can, but just the concept of it.
But those videos are prolific.
They're getting better too.
They're everywhere. And they do tell a good story. Like the story of genitalia was interesting.
And it was done well. The pictures were done well.
Yeah. But she looked like she was about maybe 95 pounds.
And how is she killing motherfuckers? Like the way they were saying.
And these are grown men that she's somehow, forcefully put in chairs and all that kind of stuff.
They'll have salacious things on YouTube where it goes, mother caught banging 17-year-old boy that led to the murder of. You're like, what the fuck story is this? It's all fake details. They have a fake narrator with fake pictures, but they make it really look legit.
No, absolutely. I mean, it really is. It is one of the problems that are out there. And like I said, the one that really makes me upset, and look, I think we all can get duped. I got one a couple weeks ago for something different, but it was a site. There's On3 Sports. And so they're a legitimate site. And I saw quickly, I'm like, On3, and it talked about how USF's quarterback was going to be suspended for the first half of the Florida Gator game. I'm like, well, that's significant. And I sent that off to my son. And he's like, are you real? And he started playing the game. I'm like, I don't know what happened. I looked at it closer, and it was 3 On Sports. Exact same logo. But I'm like, how do they allow this shit?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, what's the point of this? That's to me where I'm like, start getting rid of those sites. When you have On3 Sports that you trust, but they're 3 On and they do nothing but, like, what's even the point of that? They just tell lies, and it's clickbait stuff that they want people to spread around and be like, I hope everybody buys this lie.
Well, to me, if someone's flat out lying, I think you can sniff that out quicker. It's the person that tells truths and lies, and you're mixing both of them.
Right.
That really can fuck with everything.
Well, I mean, you see it. It changes the narratives of everybody and everything. And then, people take that differently. And people, as you can tell, they get very emotional, very upset by things that they read, especially if it's based on things that are not true. Like, what are we doing? To me, the social media sites, they need to start being proactive. And they need to find, when you have 3 On Sports that does nothing but tells you false stories, that's their only goal, is to create chaos and confusion.
How long are they allowed to operate? Like, if you go back and you look at 3 On Sports, have they been doing this for a while?
I don't know. I just seen it. It came across my feed. And of course, I looked at it. The logo looked exactly the same. And I just was flipping through so much stuff. And of course, like an idiot myself, I shared it because it was kind of believable, because he had missed curfew. I was like, oh, wow, kid's in trouble. Nope. And
it's not real.
Yeah, that's where I hate it, because that is so intended.
Well, yeah, because now you look stupid in front of your son.
Right, exactly.
Like, Dad,
I can't believe anything Dad says.
Come on, Dad. Really? You got duped by an AI video?
Well, I feel like, okay, let's say Virginia told me the truth 80% of the time, and I got the
That's high.
Yeah, exactly. Exhibit A, Your Honor. But I that 80% in my head's 100%. I think you're always telling the truth. We've gained a relationship of trust. But what if you're throwing 25% lies in there? That's
well, it makes what we do, as you can tell, a lot harder. So you get a great story about genitalia, and you're like, let's run with it. But now, I mean, it takes me so much longer, because I got to go and I try to get 3 to 5 different sources of showing it, and then I'm like, okay, I trust that it might be legit. But that's why I'm saying legitimate sources are so valuable.
I just kind of knew. I had a feeling when I first saw this, I said, I think social media is going to become a problem. And it was this girl that was on Facebook, and she was calling out this guy about him having herpes and STD and really blasting him. Now, if he doesn't have herpes, she could get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
You'd have to prove that, right?
I think you could take her to court.
So, I mean, when I saw that, I'm going,
sure, we need more of these. We need some people really losing a ton of money or getting thrown in jail or whatever it might be. Just because, look, if you're out there purposely just trying to tell lies and spread it.
What you could.
When they are, but it's not being cleaned up. To me, it should be policed by the social media sites. And I guess what they do is they could take down one site and they'll just create another. But, that's the ongoing thing. But, I read that article last week about, and I really would wish, I'd love to see social media end. I'm to that point. I really am. I don't think it ever will, but I would love to see us just all quit social media. Honestly.
Well, and it's not.
And get back to a different form of communication and connection.
It's not about wanting to be a dinosaur and not wanting to evolve and change with the time. It's got nothing to do with that. I see legitimate harm it's causing.
Oh, it is. I mean, you look at the violence that we have going on now, and it's just perpetrating anger, and it's making everybody pissed off at each other and hate everybody.
The social dysfunction.
It is, yeah.
The young people that
terrible.
Are like, they don't know how to communicate.
Even if it's something that even with our own show, because we'll see hate comments on our own show. Even if you're just doing prep for the show and you go down to the comments to just see if it's real, what are people saying? There's so much just dickiness back and forth. And if you don't think that's going to affect some of us sensitive fucks, it will. And you can call people a snowflake. Well, the snowflake's calling you a dick face. So we both got our issues.
It would just be amazing if a social media platform opened up that was like, we're not about toxicity. We're not about name calling and trashing everybody. We're trying to get connection out there and try to give you some stories that could really benefit your life. It would be amazing. I don't know if they could police it. I don't know if I'm just coming up with a pipe dream that is not real, but I would love to have that site. And honestly, if I could, I'd dump every single one that's out there to go with just that one. I just want some information and some good connection with people.
It just kind of feels like it's taken the soul and spirit out of the overall human species. I could be off on that, but I just feel like people are a little bit just more dicky and
empty.
They are.
The more connected we are socially, the more disconnected we are in real life, I feel.
Well, and they're just all the studies are showing when you get off social media, your mental health improves drastically. And it just, we need to all really, start checking ourselves.
I mean, a man can only read. He sucks so many times online.
Right.
I'm sorry. I had to write it a couple times.
I know you're stirring some shit up. Kevin got in the fake honey face engagement announcement. And he's one of the first comments, man. Congratulations. Really happy for you.
Oh, I met some people and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. When's Jay Bird's wedding? I'm like, I don't know. Message him.
At this point,
I didn't have the heart to tell them.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
I was like, I can't break these people's happy day.
That is a punishment that I'm still getting feedback on.
All right. Effective stuff. All right. Well, thank y'all for being here on this Monday, making it through another week. Send us those emails, mail@kvjshow.com. Enjoy it. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.